I remember the very first time I played with you guys. He was helping me out, yelling out the chords, telling me this one's next. I can't even remember. It might have been here.
I don't know. It was only a year ago. We can't remember.
We're doomed.
But
talk about what brought you to this specific genre. How did you guys get together for this type of music?
well, I mean, I started the band. I mean, I've been playing, since I was a teenager. Over the years, and started doing my own solo things. This configuration of the band. This lineup of the band has been together for about a year, really. But this kind of configuration of my music started about 5 years ago when I moved back to the area, and I had just put an EP out. I was living in New York for a little bit, and I put an EP out, and I moved back. I was working on a full-length record, and Ralph actually joined the band almost 5 years ago at this point, which is kind of crazy to think. It's been a while, and we were just a four-piece at the time. As I said before, I'd played in other bands before in the past, and then when I was living in New York, just decided to do solo, and I was doing that, and ended up coming back to the area and put together a band. Ralph was playing drums, had another bass player, another violinist, and put a record out, Wanderin Through the Wilderness. Then after that, we did another one, Waiting, which came out last year. And after that record, ended up kind of putting together this band lineup. Dave came on board, and then Corey, and then Caitlin. And now we're working on more recordings and, more shows, and the band will grow.
Yeah. You mentioned the bouzouki. I'm sure that everybody's got to be like, what in the world is that? So when did you implement that? When did you pick it up?
Well, the bouzouki is a Greek folk instrument. It's of the lute family. It's four double strings, tuned C, F, A, D. I bought one in 2005, I guess it was, when I was in Greece, and I didn't know how to play it. And when I lived in New York, I took some lessons, and I did learn a lot from him, from my bouzouki teacher in New York. But honestly, I learned more just through trial and error on my own. But I always had this idea, even like 10 years ago, I guess, at this point. It was just like, well, if I've got to have some kind of a Greek influence in this thing, because that's gonna make it. It's like everybody's done, like the singer-songwriter, folk singer, like he does a blues song. I'm like, I've gotta try something different. So it was an active, I couldn't even play the bouzouki. Although I grew up with the music, but I grew up, playing, American rock and roll music and all that. So, I learned instruments through the bar chord, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I couldn't even play the bouzouki, but it was like, you know what, this needs to be like part of the whole package, you know what I mean? It's gotta, and that's how it is so many times creatively. You have an idea for something, and you're not even sure that you know how to do it, and it becomes your goal, so you learn along the way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Do you take any influences, regardless of, if it makes it into the lyric writing, musical or non-musical, like anything that clicks with you as a creative?
Well, I'm influenced by a lot of early kind of folk and blues and country kind of stuff, and a lot of the, some of the songs have, specific references to different things that are, found in folk music and all that, and some of it's just, all about me.
Yeah. It's still my name on the poster. Yeah.
Right.
Since we're still talking about influences, this might be hard, but if someone was trying to get into this musical style, who would be essential listening? Like 3 or 4 essential people to listen to kind of ease on into this?
Well, I gotta say Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan, I think, is right at the top. It depends on, if you want to get into sort of, Americana, kind of folk, rootsy kind of stuff, I'd say absolutely Bob Dylan. Even though I don't really play a lot of blues. I think, anybody should give a listen to the, complete Robert Johnson recordings. I mean, I think that's really good listening. And I don't know, maybe Woody Guthrie or Hank Williams. Both great songwriters, one folk, one country, but, So I'm going to tell people to go to the roots.
Yeah, go to where it all started.